from way up in the Pyrenees of the Basque Country, where we're at 49 degrees Celsius. Welcome to the GCN show.
Hello and welcome to the GCN show.
Coming up this week, a campaign to save white cycling shorts has just started. We discuss what other rules need to be ripped up as well.
We've also got an update from the future with the results of the transcontinental race. We've got a stem from the future and it's printed. Plus we recap the Tour de France Femme avec Zwift.
This week in the world of cycling, we learned that the Tour de France Femme avec Zwift was every bit the race we hoped it would be. Annemiek van Vleuten, the strongest rider of her generation, fittingly took the overall victory after a stunning comeback from illness to dominate the race.
More on that later. Now, we also learned this week that Google have updated their mapping platform to help make those short journeys by bike that little bit safer and easier for people new to cycling as well as old hands.
Yeah, and finally, we also learned that a campaign has been launched to save white cycling shorts from the sin bin with this incredible music video from Havard, Tryti and Lee Turner.
Don't tell, Lee Turner, take it away. Some of you cyclists are making me sick, claiming that the white bibs ain't all it. You're wearing black bibs and you're bound to be hit. White bibs rock when you're tanned and fit. I say legalize it, emphasize. I'll leave you all behind as you criticize it. Come on, do your thing and let it hang. Try to keep up when they go bang, bang, bang.
I'll tell you what, I absolutely love it. Genius. The full video is up on YouTube and we'll put a link down in the description below. And you know what? I actually feel off the back of that, maybe we should give white shorts a go. They're kind of like one of those things that have always been against those unwritten rules that seemed funny at the time, but are now a little bit rubbish.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, mate, I think there is a very good reason why white cycling shorts are still a bad idea. On Lee and Houghton in Italy there, they look amazing, but when you get a sweat on, people can see your bum crack. When it rains, people can see your bum crack.
Yeah.
And the shorts get stained brown from the water spraying off your road.
The water, yeah.
Yeah, everyone can see your bum crack.
But the point is, wear what you like. Wear pro team kit. Lee and Houghton are advocates of that too.
Where is hell? Wearing it well. Don't tell. Legalize it. Legalize it.
So what are the rules that we should be breaking? I think for most of us, we can delightedly look at the UCI rulebook and rip that up.
Well, we've actually got a copy of it here, actually.
We have indeed. It's almost as big as Ollie Bridgewood's PhD thesis.
Considerably less dense, though.
Yes.
Firstly, though, one of the funny things is that it used to be the minimum weight rule of 6.8 kilograms that everyone used to try to break. But on modern bikes, you just can't really do that anymore.
No, you can't. Blooming wide tyres, aero, this, that, and the other, and don't even get started on disc brakes. But there is still plenty to go at. What's cool though is how much cycling has already moved away from the rules.
True. In fact, it's hard to find rules that are worth breaking. Rule 2.6.008 feels like it should be looked at though.
Yeah, that is maximum stage lengths, isn't it? 240 kilometres for men, whereas for women, it's just 160k.
Yeah, that's the one. I don't think long stages will make for better racing though, but you've got to question the reason for the disparity. True. So what about rule 2.2.015, inflatables over the road are prohibited?
I can kind of see the logic in no inflatables over the road, if I'm totally honest. I don't want to break that.
Okay, what about 2.3.012? All riders may render each other such as minor services, such as exchanging food, drinks, spanners, accessories, yada, 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 sort of pushing one rider by another shall in all cases be forbidden, and result in disqualification.
On pain of disqualification. I actually didn't know that about pushing in races. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that, actually. I was saying earlier, Luke Rowe got disqualified for doing a Madison sling at the end of a road race.
Luke Rowe, as in Team Ineos Grenadiers.
Before those days, though, yeah.
Well, there you go. I can see the logic there as well, as we said. The rules generally are there for reasons, except for the sock height one.
Yeah, okay, well, that's all what it comes back to, doesn't it? You know, clothing, style. Why did we end up with these sort of restrictive rules anyway? When in reality, to the rest of the world, cyclists kind of look like dorks anyway.
True.
It's kind of like having the piss taken out of you at a Star Trek convention for getting your sort of Spock look wrong.
It could be. Yeah. I wouldn't know, but let's throw a few more of these sartorial rules on the bonfire, shall we? Sunglasses over or under your helmet straps, it doesn't matter.
No, also, it doesn't matter whether you're wearing casual clothes either.
No, that's true. And lycra with t-shirts. It was okay in the 90s, it's okay again now. Same with sandals and socks, and just sandals generally.
It's kind of a bit like it's going through the punk era, isn't it?
Legalize it, legalize it.
Hardly the Sex Pistols, but I do know what you mean. It's also interesting to see the use of muck off there.
Yeah.
I had no idea it did that. If it wasn't for the fact, honestly, that t-shirts are so blooming slow, I would be tempted to ride in one.
Also, you lose your pockets as well, don't you? Bum bags are also quite uncomfortable.
That is true, yeah. Storage is clearly an issue, but why not just go the whole hog and ride naked?
Well, it's not always plain sailing, although we reported a few weeks back on a British couple cycling the length of the country completely naked to raise awareness for mental health charity Mind and a rewilding charity. They got knocked off by a car driver early on, but the good news is that the driver has been arrested and the naked tandemers have made it to their destination.
Well done, Colin Unsworth and Sadie Tan. That is impressive, 900 and something miles naked. Well done indeed. Also for Sadie, because she was at the back of the tandem. That's not a view you probably want, is it? No matter how good looking Colin is, still. No. Anyway, we want to ask you lot what you think of rules. Which of these rules that we've been wedded to in cycling for so long should we be ripping up? In fact, should we just rip them all up, or is there something that we should be keeping hold of, like no inflatables over the roads?
Not linked to that in the slightest, we've actually got an update from Manon as she prepares to take on the epic race that is the Steamboat. 115 miles, is that right?
144 miles of gravel.
Kind of undersold it.
You have indeed, yeah. Now, for those of you that were watching the Tour de France Femme avec Zwift on GCN Plus last week, you'll have seen Manon out in France, which I would imagine has impacted her training quite significantly.
Yeah, I don't think she's been cycling much, has she?
No.
Welcome back to another update on how my training is going on the Wahoo System training plan for the Steamboat Gravel Race. And I'm back in cycling kit. I am so excited to head out on my bike today after 9-10 days of yoga and strength workout. Unfortunately, still don't have a six-pack, but I'm feeling a little bit stronger. But yeah, super motivated today. I think it's a mix of being at the Tour de France Femme avec Zwift, seeing how inspirational that race was, and then just not having ridden a bike and really wanting to. So yeah, probably gonna head out the door and absolutely smash it for an hour and then die. But no, hopefully not. But yeah, my last week of full-on training, I think, and then I start my taper because race day is only 12-13 days away, I think. So not long at all to go now. But another bit of motivation for me, Wahoo have kindly sent me a kicker bike, which I'm going to set up this afternoon. So who knows, today might even be a double day, a road ride and an indoor session. But probably the worst thing I can do this week is panic train just over a week before the race. So going to try and stick to my plan and trust it, because that is the best thing to do. The plan is always right. So yeah, hopefully I'm going to have another really good week of training before I start my taper into race day. So yeah, gonna head out on my bike now. And yeah, I'll be back with another update next week, and it will be very, very close to race day. Super excited, but also nervous. Yeah, bye.
And now it's time for cycling shorts.
After all that talk of white cycling shorts, it's now officially time for cycling shorts. And we'll start this week with the incredible scenes from Tour de France winner Jonas Vingegaard's victory celebration back home in Denmark.
Yeah, look at those crowds. I reckon the Queen and the Pope combined would struggle to get that kind of turnout. It's almost as many as Donald Trump got for his inauguration, actually.
Almost. Although clearly, it was a big deal for the cycling mad nation, backed up by a stage win from Magnus Kort, Mads Pedersen and Cecil Uttrup Ludwig last week too.
Yeah, seeing all of those people there, it does make me realise, well, we're getting quite so many Danish people commenting on our woeful pronunciation of Vingegaard. Rest assured, people of Denmark, it is not for lack of trying. Vingegaard.
Now then, okay.
Sorry.
For something completely different, right? Check this out. What do you think?
Whoa!
I know.
This is, believe it or not, a stem, the Elix, a total work of art, quite frankly, created by a company called Mythos, which is like the consumer-facing brand of Metron Engineering, which is headed up by bike design god Dimitris Katsanis.
He's had a hand in developing even more groundbreaking new tech than perhaps anyone else in recent years.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he?
This thing's incredible.
It is quite the beast, isn't it? Now, like much of Metron's work these days, the Mythos Elix stem is a work of additive manufacturing, so 3D printing. But it's not your typical 3D printed titanium, though. This one is made out of scalmalloy, which is an aluminium alloy. So if you want, I know, I'm not that either.
Yeah.
If you want to see more from Dimitris, he actually features heavily in a GCN Plus documentary about how 3D printing is potentially about to revolutionise the cycling industry.
Fair. The issue at the moment is that additive manufacturing doesn't come cheap, does it? So this stem retails for about £500. Now, if you've got that kind of cash laying around to splash around, you are going to get something quite unique. And it is very light as well.
Of course it is, yeah. I mean, there's more holes than stem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also, because of the way that it can be printed in more complex shapes than traditional construction, they can tune it a little bit more. So apparently it's torsionally stiffer, but more forgiving than traditional aluminium. Anyway, just to let you know, I'm calling shotgun on
A
this.
tuned stem. I still can't ride it though anyway.
Okay.
Not that long now though, hopefully. The hole in my hand is rapidly shrinking. And on to news of people that have probably also worn holes in their hands or themselves by now. But such is life when you're riding 4,000 kilometres a week. Yes, we're talking about the Transcontinental Race.
Yeah, the premier self-supported long-distance bikepacking race, wending a tortuous route through 4 checkpoints scattered across Europe. As we film this, we're basically in for a sprint finish. By the time you lot watch this, you'll probably already have a winner.
So reigning champion Fiona Kolbinger had her purse and tracker stolen while she was sleeping in Zatek in the Czech Republic. Incredibly though, she's managed to carry on, but the time lost, the stress and the disruption, has kind of taken her out of contention for the victory.
Yeah, at the front though, it is shaping up to be the tightest TCR ever. 3 riders are separated by just 5 kilometres of road after 3,500 kilometres of racing.
Yeah.
Ultra racing legend Christoph Strasser looks like he's paced his first self-supported event perfectly, but let's see what the future brings. This is an update from the future, but unfortunately not far enough in the future to be able to tell you who's won, because they haven't actually finished yet. But Christoph Strasser looks like he has got quite a commanding lead, which suggests that he might have paced this one to perfection. But if you want to know the results ahead of next week's show, then stay tuned to dotwatcher.cc. There you go. Whoa, cool update, future side.
What?
The Bill and Ted reference lost on young Alex there.
Oh dear. Anyway, moving on from more mundane but far more important matters, we've got litter picking.
Yes, roadside litter is a disgrace, isn't it? I think the message has got through to us all now, all cyclists, that we shouldn't ever drop or leave anything anywhere. UCI Rule 2.12.007, Article 83, actually.
Clearly, there's still work to do, but amazing people are doing it. Gutto got in touch from Keep Wales Tidy charity, which has been working hard for the last 50 years.
I know. They've got a new initiative, he said, called Pedal and Pick, which is trialling this summer, whereby volunteers will be heading out with cargo trailers and picking up litter whilst they're out for a ride.
That actually is awesome stuff. Now, if you're one of those people, thank you, and well, great stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right, let's head back to the Tour de France Femme avec Zwift, shall we? It felt, honestly, like it was as good as we could have ever hoped for. And it's just like a fantastic next step on the way to growing women's cycling.
Yeah, it is the current queen of the sprinters. Lorena Vibes took 2 stage wins with ease, you'd have to say, before unfortunately pulling out the race due to a nasty crash.
Yeah, the greatest of all time, Marianne Vos, also took 2 stage wins. She won the green jersey as well and wore yellow for 4 days, which it just seemed incredibly fitting for a rider of her stature, didn't it?
And then what can you say about Annemiek van Vleuten? Some are describing Stage 7's performance as her greatest ever, which is kind of saying something, isn't it? But basically, she rode the entire peloton off her wheel and won by 3.5 minutes solo. Kind of stands out, doesn't it?
It really does stand out, yeah. And in amongst the wins from those riders, Cecily Uttrup Ludwig, as we mentioned, scored a memorable win against Marianne Vos with an awesome sprint.
Always.
And an awesome post-race interview.
I'm sorry.
Tears that Mark Cavendish would be proud of.
Yeah.
Also, Marlon Russard took a great solo stage win on stage 4.
She did indeed. Yeah, if you want to catch up on any of that, of course, we have it all on GCN Plus. You can watch it on demand. Also on GCN Plus this week, actually. Oh, you missed the Classic of San Sebastian. That was an epic. Make sure you watch that one. And the Vuelta a Burgos is on this week.
So many cool races.
Yeah, it's a bit of a Vuelta tune-up. And also the GP Memorial Jeff Sherrans. Also, the Tour Feminin de Pyrénées, I think, is on this week, as well as the next round of the Women's World Tour race in Sweden. I did the race in Newshow.
How do you remember all this stuff?
I did the race in Newshow, what can I say? Also on GCN Plus, our documentary, it's like the director's cut of my attempt to set a fastest known time around King Alfred's Way.
The director's cut.
The director's
I like that.
cut, yeah, absolutely. And then, what else do we have to talk about? Oh, the survey.
Well, we have a survey.
We've got a survey, so we...
You have spare time.
Well,
Yeah.
no, it's going to be a lot quicker than the last
okay,
one.
okay.
Basically, you know that we always want to hear from you, whether it's in the comments, whether it's on social media, whatever. But we're actually doing like a proper survey where you can let us know what you think of GCN, what you want to see more of, potentially what you want to see less of. So please get involved. We really want to hear your thoughts. So there'll be a link in the description, I think, won't there?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to get it. Right, thanks very much. It's now time for hack/Bodge. God, did I get it right?
Yeah, I think you did, mate,
Cool. Yeah, thanks.
But it feels a bit futuristic, this section, doesn't it?
It does, and I've even changed my t-shirt.
Yeah, should we have a look actually just to see about Transcontinental?
Yeah. How's it going?
They're still going.
Oh, fantastic.
And Christoph Strasser is still in the lead, although he appears to be on a boat. So anyway, there we go. Right, Hack or Bodge. Before we get started, after our Transcontinental update from the future, you got a lot of stick from last week, didn't you?
I did.
You're our tech guy.
Apparently,
you didn't know
Bike
about
Friday's a thing.
Bike Friday is a thing. Yeah.
Sorry.
And Ian Furkeron also took the comments to say access on a folding bike is actually genius because it alleviates one of the biggest pain in the arse parts of a folding bike, the shift cables. And then he says by default this ranks me as a pro level nerd.
I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, well, not about the nerdy bit, but we'll come on to that a little bit later. Right, what are we starting off with this week?
So first up this week we've got a submission from M. Pascal with a laser to check their front wheel alignment.
Laser beams.
Lasers.
That's got to be a hack, hasn't it? And actually, genuinely looking at that,
That's incredible.
that makes me feel happy.
It's a satisfying sort of sight, isn't it?
It is. You know what? Right, I used to get really bothered about my front wheel lining up my handlebars, and now I think I'm much better at it. I don't know. Maybe that comes with age.
Yeah,
but
just let these things pass you by now.
that's it. But you know how, like, seat posts aren't round anymore on a lot of bikes; they're D-shaped. So your seat is always.
You can't get it wrong, basically.
Exactly. Why don't we do that with steer tubes?
Well, a few months back, actually, Le Mans launched, I think it was like a prototype bike, and had a square steerer tube. So that might sort the issue out for them.
There we go. And all you need is a custom printed 3D printed stem, and you could get it tuned to whatever steer tube you like.
Easy.
No, I really like that. I think that's the kind of thing that Park Tools should make and sell to bike shops.
Yeah. It's a hack from me.
It's a hack from me, yeah.
In fact, 93% of people said hack.
Whoa.
Incredible.
Okay, right, next up, we've got this one from Cuts33, the new El Alto, Connor's new bike. That is brilliant. I think that is actually Hank riding it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a black and white photo.
Yeah,
that's all.
You can tell that's not Connor running next to him though, because if that was Connor, he'd be significantly taller than Hank is whilst riding the giant bike.
Yes, very true. I love the fact that the wheel is taller than the other person.
That is a cool looking bike, isn't it? It's just a thing that must exist somewhere. Like, it can't have just rotted or rusted.
That was going to influence my decision on this. It has to be a hack. You could not bodge that together.
No, I think that's absolutely brilliant. And I just wonder whether you're busy next week, because I wonder whether perhaps you should make one.
I think I'm too busy to rustle one of those up. And I'm not sure I'm prepared enough.
Okay, right.
Next submission is from...
We've
sorry,
earned that hack.
I jumped the gun, sorry.
You did, yeah, hack?
Yeah, hack from me, yeah.
73% of you lot said that's a hack as well. Right, go.
Okay, right, thanks. Chris_JL, we've got... so they're investigating what they thought was a creaky bottom bracket and found that both chainstays had cracked more than halfway round.
No.
One DIY carbon bandage repair later, it's now 2.5 times as stiff as their hardtail mountain bike.
Whoa.
But is now confined to the turbo.
To be fair, can we just have a moment? Poor old Chris.
Yeah.
Like, you think you're in for maybe a 20 quid bottom bracket replacement, and you find your frame is snapped in 2 places. I mean, you've obviously cheated death, so that's
Yeah.
good. But still, and then what a fix.
Who knew a carbon bandage was something that existed?
No, you need carbon bandages.
They could save my elbows.
They could, yeah. No, I like that very much. I feel like, you know, having a dedicated turbo training bike, like that's a thing, right?
Yeah. I'm inclined to think this is great.
Yeah, I like that very much as well. So hack from me.
Yeah, hack. Although it's the sort of thing, I'm going to say hack, but it's the sort of thing that could also be a bodge. Imagine doing that on the roadside. To get
Roadside carbon, well, that's something for your saddlebag, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some carbon bandages.
Bandages.
Only 36% of you lot thought that was a hack. So yeah, no, I don't know. Like they like the bike is not in landfill. It's still a bicycle, even if it's a
I'm pleased to
one.
see more people repairing things. We're a bit of a throwaway society at times. So it's good to see people repairing stuff.
Yeah, we are. Right, okay. Next up, we've got this one from Michael May. It's simple, we need more leverage, he says. Had a heck of a time trying to get the pedals off an old bike when my neighbour came up with this fantastic hack, which appears to be welding a handle onto a spanner. You know what? That is
I'm
good.
always lost for words.
Yeah, we've all been there, right? You're trying to remove something stuck. I've never welded something to a spanner,
No,
but
I can't say I have.
I've definitely stuck something in the end of a spanner to get a bit more leverage.
Yeah, although it does always concern me, everyone will be familiar with this, when the pedal eventually comes loose, the risk of your hands catching those chain rings.
Well, stick a big enough lever on your spanner and you'll be like 3 foot away from your chain rings.
That's a good
by the
point,
time
that's
it
actually
goes.
safer.
It is safer, yeah. I mean, it admittedly might not be very good for your bike, but if that's worked, and by the sound of things it has, it has
to be
as far
a
as I'm
hack.
concerned.
I don't think you could bodge that together.
No, and it's welded.
In fact, only 45% of people said hack. Surprised at that.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to be surprised by it.
Yeah, no, I think I think it's a hack though. We're just going to have to slightly disagree with.
Is that a sort of home run of hacks? Have they all been hacks this week?
We voted them all hacks. We must be in a good mood.
Well, what can I say?
What did you have for lunch? Was it good?
Future me had an olive and hummus and roast vegetable wrap.
Check you out.
Incredible.
That is, no wonder you're in a good mood. Anyway, thank you so much, as always, for submitting your hacks and bodges. Keep them coming in. In fact, we should maybe try and have like a bumper edition next week's 500th GCN show. So send them in on the GCN app, upload them, and get voting as well on all of the hacks and bodges that are already up there. It's time now for Caption Competition, that part of the show where you get a chance to get your hands on a coveted GCN Elite water bottle. So coveted, Alex tried to win this last week, didn't
I
he?
thought that was the one you were going to donate to me.
Yeah, but we wouldn't let you have it in the end. I don't think it's going to be yellow anymore. Yellow is done now, isn't it?
Yeah, the big French bike race is over.
Yeah, until next year.
Okay.
Anyway, should we have results from last week first of all?
Yes, so this was the picture we had last week, and the winner is Jersey Paul with this caption. When they said the Grand Tour podiums are getting younger each year, even Pogacar was surprised to see the age of these two who had to bring their dads along.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's a good one, I like that.
Well done, Jersey Paul. You get a GCN Elite water bottle. Get in touch and we will get one sent out to you. Right, Alex, what's the photo for this week?
Right, take a look at this. It's Annemiek van Vleuten in a very fresh looking yellow jersey.
Yes, very fresh. She's looking very fresh actually as well, isn't she?
So, am I coming up with a caption for this?
Yep.
Okay, so this is Annemiek van Vleuten having just won the stage, glancing over her shoulder to see if second place has arrived in yet. That's how far ahead she was.
Yeah, I like that.
It's sort of over-exaggerating it a bit, but you know.
Well, I mean, 3.5 minutes. Like
Yeah,
this.
okay,
She
yeah.
could have had a shower
Yeah.
and got a fresh yellow jersey in 3.5 minutes before Demi Vollering turned up. So,
Okay.
so yeah, no, I like that. Very good. If you think that you can equal or better Alex's caption, or even if you can't, just stick your caption in the comment section down below. We'll pick a winner this time next week. Come on, mate, you have that.
Like I say, I was about to say, let's face it, even if mine's the best, I'm not going to get a bottle, am I? But thanks very much.
Do you want that one?
I'll try and take it.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least it'll stop Connor putting on his purple or
Oh, yeah, if nothing else. Right, it's now time for comment of the week. So, Si, take it away.
Okay, first of all, we're going to start with some comments actually. We're under last week's GCN show.
Yeah.
A lot of cycling nerdery came out of the woodwork. Julien Fraboulet, this bicycle rolling resistant website is amazing. You guys just made my day. Definitely a pro level geek. Yeah, if you haven't checked out bicyclerollingresistance.com, you need to, and you
Your
can
life
thank us
will be
for
better.
it. Yeah,
Your
you can
life-
thank us
yeah.
for it next week. And then Steve Seppala said, my bike nerdiness shows when I anticipate the delivery of my GCN club socks every month, as well as obsess over GCN plus content. True bike nerd for sure. Yeah, that is quite nerdy,
That's true.
isn't it?
We've also got a comment from Rob B. Says, semi-pro nerdery for a recreational cyclist. They've got a spreadsheet with all their historical rides capturing distance, time, average power, elevation, ascended. From there, they then use Excel to create a formula for future rides, taking in all the distance, average power, elevation, so they can predict their finish time. They've got 51 data points, and it even has an R square of 0.9963 and a standard error of 5.5. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds like he does.
Statistics, mate. I think it's good. I think it's good.
And the best prediction so far was a 103-mile ride with 6,227 feet of elevation gain. And the predicted formula was just 18 seconds off their actual time. That's incredible.
That is incredible. Well, firstly then, Rob, that's not semi-pro nerdery. That's full-blown one of the... I mean, like we said...
That's off the charts.
If you've got a spreadsheet, that's pro-level nerdery. But also, are you not tempted, because there's human influence here, like if I had a spreadsheet that was predicting my finish time, I'd probably do my damnedest to try and finish so I get a better R value. If I'm honest.
Okay.
Would you not do that?
I'm not going to disagree.
You'd be like, oh, if I just go a little bit faster. Maybe that's not how it works.
I have no idea.
Anyway, hats off to you, Rob. Hats off.
We won't dive into that any deeper.
Yeah, in fact, let's just change things completely.
Yeah.
Hank and Connor's useless things they learned as pro cyclists.
Oh, this video is incredible, I've got to say. I even made a cameo appearance at the end of this video.
You did indeed, yeah.
So Victor says, another don't. So they say, do not win any race. If you come last, it means you spend more time on your bike, and that's what it's all about. I could agree with that.
Yeah, Hank and Connor tried to win races.
Yeah.
All of us are in the same boat, it has to be said.
We've all tried.
And then Donald Young said, I wonder what it's like working in an office with this pair. Good vid, although they missed the critical winging on the move. So that is true, actually.
It's tough working in an office with those guys.
Indeed it is, yeah. Speaking of which, they were at it again with the saddle heights video from Friday. Russ Stark points out one of Hank's little Hankisms. Let's harness that power from the right seat height by getting out of the saddle to sprint.
I'm so glad he got saddle height spot on for that.
Yeah, exactly.
It made all the difference, I think.
Yeah.
We've got another fabulous comment underneath this video from Ken Chan, who just says nutcracker, which if you haven't seen the video, just watch this clip and you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Cue the VT.
Saddle height, there are some obvious ways when you just know you've got it. That's my bike.
Right. What else we got? We've got comments underneath the World Superbike video at Donington.
We do indeed, yeah. Gregory Lesko, great episode and well done. Thank you very much for that one. Most people don't realise how fit the racers need to be in order to compete at the top level. I've had the opportunity to ride in events with MotoGP, World Superbike, motocross riders, and they are seriously fit cyclists/athletes. So yeah, Scott is pretty handy on a bicycle.
Yeah, he is. Very out-sprinted Hank. Even with his saddle height correct.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Hank had spent hours fine-tuning his saddle height for that.
Okay, and then coming up this week on the channel, Wednesday we've got top tips for descending. Thursday we've got does spinning make you a better rider? Spinning in terms of cadence.
Indeed, it does, yeah.
Friday, God, I've got an absolute banger here. This is beginner versus superbike.
Yes.
Well, beginner on a superbike.
You've written an absolute banger here.
Yeah, I've seen some of the clips from this already. It's going to be incredible. Everyone needs to watch that.
All right, okay.
What have we got on the weekend then, Si?
Well, this is me and Ollie, actually. Have you ever wanted to know whether modern aero bikes are so fast now, they're actually faster than time trial bikes from yesteryear?
I have always wanted to know that.
Well, you can find out the answer on Saturday. We got hold of Stephen Roach's 1987 time trial bike. It's an absolute work of art, and we put it up against a modern, super fast aero bike. And had a little race. So,
Every part of me wants to ask what the outcome was, but I know you're going to tell me to watch the video.
I'm going to tell you to watch the video, yeah. And then on Sunday, I think you've written something else. I've actually seen this already, and it's amazing.
Yes.
Can we melt disc brakes?
I was fortunate enough to see some more of this video. It's Hank and Ollie. They are on form on this video, I've got to say. It's incredible.
It is indeed. So that is Sunday's vid. Make sure you check that one out. That's quite a good week of GCN videos. Some good stuff on GCN Tech, presumably?
Some amazing stuff on GCN Tech. I think we've got episode 2 of Ollie's bike build coming out. We've also got, I don't know what else we've got coming out. You'll have to watch the GCN Tech show to find out.
You will indeed. Right, Alex, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you lot all for watching, as always. And like I said, don't forget to tune in next week for the 500th show.
Do you think there might be space for me to come back?
Absolutely. There's also space for Tom Last. So if you want Lasty to make a little comeback, you know what to do. Hit the like button, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks very much. See ya. Oh, I love a thumbs up.
Yeah.